My dear students, today we are going to start a new chapter. First of all, let me ask you something interesting. Have you ever been on a ship in an ocean or an sea or a sea anywhere on a ship? It is very interesting to be on a ship. I'll tell you how it does it feels. It feels like the whole world is full of water because the seas and oceans are quite big and you are just going somewhere because you can't see nothing, you can't see road, you can't see any buildings or any landmarks, nothing. When you are in the ocean, you can see only water and you have no idea where you are going. The only thing that makes you realize that happens with you at that time when you are on a on a ship is the motion. Okay, the motion through which you are going, you only feel that you are going somewhere, nothing else can be felt, and that feeling I would like to share that is very good. So don't miss the opportunity whenever you get to get bored on a ship or a cruiser or something like that, which you can see in this image also, and go in the sea. Okay, so let's start our first chapter, our next chapter, and this chapter is motion. In this particular chapter, we will study different types of motion and how we can study them and how we can get benefited by understanding them. Okay, in this particular class we will see the introduction of motion and the different types of motion. Okay, so let us continue. Rest and motion. Okay, an object is said to be at rest if it does not change its position with time and with respect to the immediate surrounding. If an object is kept as it is and it is not changing its position with time, either with time or with the immediate surrounding, then it is called rest. Okay, let's see a few examples to understand it better. Here we can see that this tree, beautiful tree, is kept there, placed there on the ground, not actually placed there, planted there on the ground, and it is not changing its position. Is it? Is it changing its position with respect to time or the immediate surrounding? No, not at all. This laptop, the cup is placed on the table and they are not moving. So they can be called as at rest. They are at rest. Okay. Here there are some vehicles, very beautiful vehicles, some cars like Lamborghini, Ferrari, some cruiser bikes. All of them are simply parked in a garage of a very rich man, I guess. Who wants all these cars after getting big or in his 40s? Well, I want. Okay, I don't know about the rest of you. And I'm very sure many of you also want these cars just like me. Let's work for it. Okay, so by now they all are at rest, they are not moving, they all are at rest. Why? Because they are not moving at with respect to time or with respect to the immediate surrounding. Everything is at rest. Okay, now let's see what is motion. Okay, so for if we talk about motion, so an object is said to be in motion if it changes its position with time and with respect to its immediate surrounding. If it is changing its position both with time and with respect to to its immediate surrounding, then only it can be considered as motion. Okay. Why I said both? Because let's say our Earth is moving, na? Our Earth is moving with respect to other planets, but we are sitting here, so we are at rest. Okay, so by the time we are moving, but with the immediate surrounding, if I compare myself with this wall, I am at rest. But if we both, if we talk about the whole planet, then it is moving. So motion is nothing to do with that. Motion is relative. Okay, I will talk that I am in motion when I will move with respect to this wall, immediate surrounding. Okay, let's see a few examples. One serial was there. I guess the name was Survival Man, in which this gentleman was there. Okay, Bear Grylls. He is hanging with some helicopter in the first opening scene of that episode, and suddenly with a parachute he jumps. So right now when he is hanging and remembering his god, he is in rest with respect to the helicopter, but the helicopter itself is moving with respect to the ground. So he is in rest when he is hanging with respect to the helicopter, but the helicopter along with him is in motion with respect to the ground. As soon as he leaves his the grip of his hand, he is in motion with respect to both the helicopter as well as the ground. So this is motion when you are moving with respect to your immediate surrounding. Okay, let's see a few more examples. Here we can see the girl is running. Okay, so she is moving on a road, running, jogging on a road in the morning, I guess, because no one is there. And she is moving because she is moving with respect to her immediate surrounding. As you can see, her surroundings are changing very quickly, so she is moving. We can simply make out that she is moving. Okay, something error. These days, technology is troubling us also a lot. Don't blame only yourself. Anyways, let's continue. Here we can see the whole universe is moving. Okay, the whole universe is moving with respect to the other universes. The galaxy, here it is the galaxy, not the whole universe. This galaxy is moving with respect to other galaxies. Okay, so this is in motion, but the planets, the things which are the mountains or the stones, or we the people or other type of creatures which are living on the planet and sitting like this, simply as I am sitting right now, so they can be termed as at rest. I hope you got an idea. Okay, my favorite one is this, Mr. Bear Grylls, hanging off from at rest, and now motion. Okay, now let's go to the next. This was rest and motion. So, motion, my dear students, is a relative term. Whenever you will talk about something which is now, let's see different types of motions. Okay, so motion is a relative term. We cannot talk like whenever we are running, we are changing our position with respect to time and our immediate surrounding, then only we can say that we are in motion. Right now the earth is revolving around the sun and the whole solar system is revolving around the center of the galaxy, so everything is in motion. But I am sitting here, you are sitting there, we both are at rest. Why? Because our immediate surrounding and us are all together sitting here. Okay. Okay, now let's see different types of motion. So motion, my dear students, can be of different types. Okay, first of all, let's see why we can say that. See this one. This is a type of motion. A bullet is fired from a gun. This particular image is showing that the bullet is fired inside the water, just to demonstrate it better how it goes. Otherwise it goes so fast it will be very tough to see the trajectory from which it is traveling. Okay, the path. Here we can see this is one type of motion. It sees a few more types of motions. Here we can see, as you can see, this car is taking a sharp turn on a road. This is also a type of motion. Taking a turn is also a motion. Okay, going in a straight line is also a motion. Okay, a very beautiful car, I guess it is Ferrari. Okay, this is also type of motion. Actually the clock, I wanted to show the clock, but this was funny, that's why I took it. Someone is sleeping and the and the clock start ringing and he's just smashing it. The motion of clock is also a motion, and whatever this gentleman or gentlewoman is doing is also a type of motion. And if we go a little bit further with the alarm clocks, this is also a type of motion. Okay, this is a very sophisticated type of alarm clock which have really good ways to wake us up. Okay. Okay, so these are not these are though, as far by now we can say that motion can be of different types. Okay, now let's talk about each type of motion one by one. Okay, so the very first type is translatory motion. What is translatory motion? Let's see. the motion of an object in which every point of the object moves through the same distance in the same interval of time. Okay, that means, let's see, this is an object. Okay, and it is moving along the same way, all the points in this object. Okay, or each and every point of the object moves through the same distance in the same interval of time. That means it is not moving like this or like this. Okay, it is simply moving like this, then we can call it a translatory motion. Okay, by the way, this is, what is it, dongle. Okay, I thought, I don't want to you to get confused about it. Okay, so it is translatory motion. Okay, when everything is moving, let's see a few examples. The first example is, actually translatory motion can be considered in two types. Okay, the whole thing is moving together, and it could be of two types. First one is rectilinear motion. Okay, what is rectilinear motion? And second one is curvilinear motion. Okay, so first we will see what is rectilinear motion. Rectilinear motion is a motion in which the whole thing goes on a straight path. Okay, like this gentleman is running on a very straight road, going straight, and this motion is called rectilinear motion. Okay, let's see a few examples. A car moving on a straight road. If a car is moving on a national highway, very straight road, simply going on a straight road, then it can be considered as a rectilinear motion. Okay, second is a ball falling in a straight path. If you go on your rooftop and you simply leave that ball, drop that ball from there, it will travel in a rectilinear way. Okay, rectilinear motion. An athlete running on a straight racing track, as you can see in this picture. A bullet just fired, as we saw in that image. A bullet just fired, it will also go in a very straight line. Okay, so a bullet just fired is also a rectilinear motion. Okay, rectilinear motion. Second is curvilinear motion. As you can see, this child in this image is jumping, and these are different snaps taken at different time frame to show the path which he or he I guess he is traveling. Okay, so this type of motion is called curvilinear motion. Okay, in which the whole object is moving on a straight line together, but it is making a curve. Okay, not on a straight line, the whole object is moving together but making a curve. Okay, a few more examples are a car taking a turn on a road. As we saw that Ferrari taking a very nice turn, that was also curvilinear motion. A javelin throw by an athlete. Javelin, you know, javelin, there is a long bhala, that was called in Hindi, long rod with a sharp edge, and it is thrown like that. Whoever will throw it further will win. Javelin throw, that also follows a curvilinear path to go. And a basket thrown into a basketball thrown into a basket. If I'll throw a basketball from here, it will not go no like a bullet straight. No, it will go like this and then go into the basket. Okay, a train moving along a curved track. If the railway track, if you have traveled by rail, Indian railways, you must have seen many times that rail gets curves. Okay, and those curves are when the train is at those curves, if you look out of your window, you will see that different bogies of your train. How many bogies are front, how many bogies are in behind you. Okay, so these types of motion, whenever you are taking a curve, is called a curvilinear motion, and when you are going straight, it is called a rectilinear motion. Okay, this was first type. Let's see another, circulatory motion. By name you can make it out that the motion of an object about a fixed axis, okay, along the circumference of a circle without changing its position, is called circulatory motion, or it is also called rotatory motion. Okay, so what is circulatory motion? Circulatory means, axis means the middle point of a circle at which the wheels, na, you see the wheels of bikes, cars, and your bicycles. Always the wheels have a middle point at which the rod is connected, through which the wheel rotates. That rod, that point is known as axis. Okay, so the axis along the circumference of the circle. The circumference means outer boundary. whenever something is rotating, revolving, actually revolving like this, or like this, it is revolving, then, or rotating also we can say, if we talk about the whole wheel. So okay, so this is called circular in a circle. If it is moving, then it is called circulatory motion. It is also called rotatory motion. Let's see an example. Here we can see all the planets and the moons and these things, they all do circulatory motion. As you can see in this picture, the sun is also rotating, planets are revolving, planets have their moons, and these things, they are also revolving. All of these type of motions are circulatory motion. Okay, a few more example. This one is the, London Eye. It is a very famous landmark in Europe, actually the tallest this type of a structure in Europe. It attracts many millions of people every year. It is very famous, London Eye. In the small dots you are seeing now on that circle, many people, 8 or 10 people, I guess 5 or 8 people, 10 people sit in that circle together, and the wheel is rotated, and you can go up and see the whole view. It is located near the Thames River, somewhere in London. Okay, so this is also a type of circulatory motion. One more example. Here the gentleman's car have got some issues, and only the back wheel is rotating. Only the back wheel is rotating, and this wheel is showing circular motion. Okay, okay, circulatory motion. So these are the few examples of circulatory motion. Whenever something is rotating in circles or revolving in circles, it can be considered as circulatory motion. If it is going straight, it can be either rectilinear motion or curvilinear motion. Okay, and if it is completely revolving around something or rotating, then it is called circulatory motion. Okay, now let's move one step further, and here we are, oscillatory motion. What is oscillatory motion? The to and fro or back and forth motion of an object from its mean position is called oscillatory motion. To and fro or back and forth, if we are not going anywhere, if we are at our place but we are moving, we are going to and fro or back and front, and we are going back and front, then we are not going anywhere but we are moving. No, this is a type of motion. This type of motion is called oscillatory motion. Let's see a few examples. Let's see, these two little cute deers are trying to do some motion, but forget about the deer. See the seesaw, that is not going anywhere, that seesaw, but it is moving. These two gentle goats are moving that saw. So the motion which is happening in that saw, as you can see, to and forth, back and forth, okay, to and fro. So this type of motion is called oscillatory motion. Let's see a few more examples. The pendulum of a clock, it is also a type of oscillatory motion. It is not going anywhere, but it is moving. How is it moving? It is moving simply to and fro, to and fro. Okay, so this is also a type of oscillatory motion. Here one more gentle doggy. He is also showing a very cute example of oscillatory motion. Okay, so this I hope you are get enjoying this class, because this is really interesting types of motions. I am enjoying it this much, and I'm very sure you must also enjoying this class. So this was third type, oscillatory motion. So as far we have studied that object can move in a straight line, object can go somewhere either in a straight line or in a curved line, or it can be there and rotate, or it can simply, back and forth, move back and forth. These types of motions we have studied. Now what's next? Vibratory motion. This is actually a smaller fraction or smaller division, or a miniature type of uh, this only oscillatory motion only. This is oscillatory motion, and this is oscillatory motion light. Okay, but it is named as vibratory motion. What is vibratory motion? Where oscillation is happening but on a very small scale, which can be considered as a vibration. The motion of an object in which a part of an object vibrates to and fro or back and forth in a fixed pattern, okay, about its mean position, while the rest of the object always remains fixed. Okay, if some part is vibrating of that object, only the some part, here in this type of motion, oscillatory motion, the whole object is moving, okay, mostly. Otherwise, if we talk about, if you will say that, sir, in the clock only the pendulum is moving, the clock is not moving. Yeah, the clock is not moving, but we are not talking about the clock, we are talking only about the pendulum, and the whole pendulum is moving. Here we are talking about only the saw, that is moving. Here we are talking about only the swing, and that is moving. Okay, but here in vibratory motion, the whole object will not move, only some part of that. Let me show you the example. Here you can see this is a guitar string. As you can see, this gentleman is simply, you know, pulling a few strings, and that string is very beautifully rotating. So that the whole guitar is not rotating, not moving, not vibrating, sorry, vibrating, not the whole guitar is not vibrating, only the strings are vibrated. Okay, so this type of motion is called vibratory motion. To make it even clearer, let us see a few more examples. As you can see, this drum, the drum is intact, not moving at all, but the leather of that drum, which is used to make sound, is very beautifully vibrating. So this type of, as you can see now, this type of motion is called vibrating. One more example, my dear students. This is was really okay. Don't laugh. But this is also a type of vibratory motion, to be honest, because his whole body is not moving. Only his face is vibrating. Okay. Actually, I think this is not a perfect example of vibratory motion, but only the first few seconds it can be considered as a vibratory motion, and then it is moving in some other way. But these two examples are perfect examples of vibratory motion. Okay, let's move further. Okay, tell me, you decide whether this slapping can be considered as a vibratory motion or not. Okay, we will discuss it in the comment section. Periodic motion. Periodic motion is something which can be, which is in repeated, which is the motion which repeats itself at fixed interval of time. When a motion repeats itself at fixed interval of time, it can be considered periodic. Which type of repetition? Let's see this sewing machine. Don't see the mask which this gentleman or gentlewoman is making, you just see the needle. That needle is showing periodic motion. Actually, in this image, the whole image is showing periodic motion, but this is not the real case. In actuality, whenever we saw a sewing machine, the needle shows periodic motion. It repeats itself. The motion of the needle repeats itself at a fixed interval of time, and does the same thing again and again and again. Okay, a few examples, more examples. The revolution of earth around sun is all can also be considered as a periodic motion. Okay, so one motion can be of two types, like this is also circulatory motion. Okay, this is also circulatory motion, but it can also be a periodic motion if it is repeating itself at a fixed interval of times. Okay, if someone is rotating something, but the interval of time at which it is rotating is not fixed, sometimes it comes very fast, sometimes it comes late, then it cannot be considered periodic, but it will be a circular motion. But here in this particular case, when the earth is rotating, revolving around the sun, it can also be considered as a circulatory motion, and it can also be considered as a periodic motion. Okay. Okay. This very cute panda is also showing a very good example of periodic motion. He is simply repeating and having fun with that chair. Okay, now students, something serious. Simple pendulum. Simple pendulum is a machine. Let's see a few little bit of technicality. Okay, it is a simple pendulum is a machine which is hanged with some point of suspension, and it can, if we will simply move it little bit, it will swing like this, like this, like this. Okay, in a periodic motion. What we have to study here, what we have to know, that this is the point of extreme position. Let's see the few. Okay, wait, this is the point of extreme position, and this is the point of extreme position. I mean, the ball is moving from here till here. Okay, this is the mean position, main, where it was when it was in rest. Okay, so what we have to study is that one complete to and fro motion of the pendulum about its mean position is called one oscillation. Okay, and the time taken by the pendulum to complete one oscillation is called time period. So, my dear students, when we are moving it, the ball goes from here and coming back. This is called one oscillation. Okay, starting from the mean position, going one extreme end to the another extreme end and coming back to its mean position is one oscillation, and the time taken to do this, to complete one oscillation, is called its time period. Simple, nothing very tough, simple. Okay, so you have learned two new words, oscillation and time period. The time taken by a pendulum to move from its mean position to its one extreme end and then to the other extreme end coming back to the mean position, one cycle, is called oscillation, and the which is required to do this, it's time period. Okay, so this was periodic motion. Okay, you want me to go further or revise it? Okay, we will revise it once more in the end. Okay, multiple motion. What is multiple motion? Multiple, by the name it is very clear that it is a combination. The motion is a combination of two types of motion, is called multiple motion. It is also called complex motion. So the name, my dear students, in life also and in science also, the problem which looks very complex is actually very simple, and the simple problems are very tough to solve. Okay, okay, so here it looks complex, but it is really easy. You see, this is Mr. Bean, and he has got some real superpowers. But the thing which we have to focus here is this: the cycles, uh, you know, wheels and the paddles, they are showing some different types of motion. They are moving round circulatory motion, but the whole object, the cycle and the man, Mr. Bean and other cyclists, they are going on a straight line. Okay, so these two types of motions, when they are combined together, then they are called multiple motion or complex motion. Okay, there are two types of motion happening. One, the wheel is rotating on its axis. Okay, and another, the whole object is moving in a straight line. So there are two types of motions. This type, when two or more types of motions are combined together and some working together, then they are called multiple motion or complex motion. A few more example if you will talk about, then drill is also a very good example of complex motion or multiple motion. The drill itself is moving in circular, showing circulatory motion, but it is making a straight hole in the wall, so translatory motion is also there. Okay, it is also going in a straight line. Okay, so this is also type of example. Pulley, the pulley itself is moving in circular motion, but it is lifting something upward. So two different types of motions are also combined. Okay, so the one small thing is here, that the motion in which a combination of rotatory and translatory motion is called rolling motion. When we combine these two motions, rotatory and translatory, then we can call it a rolling motion. Okay, if you will simply roll a ball on the ground, it will show rolling motion, it will also show rotatory as well as translatory. So this is rolling motion, a different type of motion. Okay, the rolling motion is simply a type of multiple motion in which circulatory or rotatory and translatory are combined together. Okay, okay. Random motion, this is the last one, I promise. Random motion. Random motion, the motion which is an object in which, actually here, in which the motion in which an object changes its direction frequently is called random motion. It is also called zigzag motion or irregular motion. Simple as that. Randomly, when something is moving, it can be called as random motion. Let's see a few examples. See this beautiful movement of this kite. Can you predict how it will move and where it will go? No, this is random motion. It is moving everywhere. Let's see simply this one also. This is a smoke coming out of inflorescent sandalwood. sandal stick, I don't know what is it's called, sticks to which we use for worshipping. So this type of smoke is also random motion, na? See, it can go anywhere, random motion. This beautiful butterfly is also showing a random motion. Nothing is fixed. Its wings are moving somewhere, he or she is moving, it is moving somewhere else. So it is, these type of motions are random motions. Okay, let's revise once more. Go back, go back, go back, go back, very back, very back, more back. Motion can be of different types. First one is translatory motion. So the motion of an object in which every point of the object moves through the same distance in same interval of time is translatory motion. It can be of two types, rectilinear or curvilinear. Rectilinear is this straight type of motion, and curvilinear in which like examples are a car moving on a straight road, a ball falling on in a straight path, an athlete running on a straight racing track, a bullet just fired. These are rectilinear motion. And if we will talk about curvilinear motion, then a car taking a turn on the road, a javelin thrown by an athlete, a basketball thrown into the basket, a train moving along a curved track. Second thing is circulatory motion, in which an object uh, about a fixed axis, the motion of an object about a fixed axis along the circumference of a circle without changing its position, it is called rotatory motion. The object is itself is not changing its position, it is then and there. Okay, it is there itself. Like these objects are not changing their position at all, they are revolving some of something, but they are not moving. Like this lantern eye is not never changed, it has never changed its position, it's revolving there from many centuries. Okay, and this car is not going anywhere, but the tires, the rear wheels are showing some type of motion, which is circulatory motion. Okay, oscillatory motion, the to and fro, back and forth motion of an object is called oscillatory motion. Like these gentle goats, this pendulum, this gentle dog. Oscillatory motion, vibratory motion, when one particular object will vibrate and rest of will remain fixed. The strings of guitar, the drum. I'm not sure about this one is vibratory or not. Periodic motion, a motion which repeats itself at fixed interval of time is called periodic motion, like the motion of a the needle of a sieving machine, or the revolution of Earth around Sun. It repeats itself after every 365 days. This beautiful panda is also showing a very good periodic motion. Okay, simple pendulum. It is simply a ball or a weight hanged with a rope, and it will show a pendulum motion. What we have to study here is that one complete to and fro motion of a simple pendulum is called oscillation. Oscillation is a very important term, my dear students. Why I am telling you this because oscillation is a really important term. When you will study waves and different go in higher classes, oscillation will also be the same. But the only thing you know, that starting from the mean position, it goes somewhere and goes down and then comes back after repeating one cycle. Is called one oscillation. This much only you have to learn now, and the time taken to do this is one time period. It's time period of one oscillation. Okay, okay, so it is time period, one oscillation, and then one time period. Okay, multiple motion, when two or more motions are combined. Like here, the circulatory and translatory motions are combined. Here also circulatory and translatory are combined. Here also circulatory and translatory is combined. And the motion in which circulatory and translatory is combined is called rolling motion. Multiple motions can be of many different types, in which some more type of motions can be combined together. Okay, okay, like random motion, last motion type of motion is random motion, in which nothing can be is fixed. It is also called zigzag motion, or irregular motion also we call it sometimes, in which simply the motion is there, but we cannot conclude it in any way. It is simply moving somehow. So this is random motion. So this was the end This is the end, my dear students, but it is the beginning of this chapter and we will study a lot of things. I hope you understand all the type of motions which we have to study. If not, then please view this video one or two times. If some, you can rewind it also. This is the very good benefit of this, my dear students. Whenever you are in offline classes, teacher came, taught something and went. If you missed something, that time you understood, but later on if you are missing something, you cannot recall it, you cannot go there back in that class. But here this class is recorded. Whenever you are getting confused about something, you can come back and see the live class again and again as much times as you want. Okay, and if something is there which is not clear in this video and you want to discuss, please let me know. I will be more than happy to clear your doubts. Thank you very much.